Alright, so here's a quick little video of exactly how I day traded for both Thursday and Friday of this past week. I didn't get a chance to make a video on those days, so here it is. So here's Thursday, and here's Friday. We're going to start off with Thursday. Just as a reminder, this is using regular trading hours on my chart, not extended trading hours. We are also on the 5-minute time frame. This is micro ES. We're trading the price of the S&P 500. I take one trade per day. If there's a setup that presents itself, and I risk about 1% of my account, and I'm usually looking for one risk to reward ratio size trades, and I'm trading the New York session. For me, it starts at 10:45 or 10:30 a.m. my local time, and it's 9:30 a.m. New York time. The only indicator I'm using is a VWAP line, and it is unmodified. This is it. So with that being said, we're going to start off here on Thursday. The first thing I do every single day is I take a little box tool here, and I will create a box over the first, second, and third 5-minute candles. From the bottom of the first wick of the 5-minute candle for the top of the third candle's wick as well, and this creates our opening range. So, first thing that happens on Thursday is that price breaks above the opening range, and it is also above the VWAP line as well, so it tells us that there may be some bullish energy there. After we get price breaking above and closing some candle bodies above the opening range, the next thing we wait for is a pullback. We get a pretty large pullback here. Price pulls back about almost 40 points, about 37.5 points. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 pretty strong bearish candles to the downside. Price doesn't break out at the bottom of the opening range. It stays within, and it gets a nice bounce here at the bottom of the range and then shoots back up. One thing I like to do is I like to check to see how far down this pullback is and if it's using a proper area to bounce. So this is a pretty decently sized pullback, because all of this price here is basically like a move up, and then this is price pulling back so that it can continue on up. That's how I see it, at least. Also, we've got price that found a bit of resistance here previously the day before on Wednesday at the end of the trading session, and then price is using that area to bounce off of. So we're seeing that price is having a nice pullback, a nice bounce, and is headed back up for some continuation to the upside. So we've got a break outside of the opening range through the top. Price is above the VWAP line, so 2 bullish signs. We've got a good pullback and a bounce on the bottom of the opening range. Then we have to wait for price to break out of the opening range once again and to get a confirmation candle, I call it. So a large, powerful, bullish candle that tells us price has energy to move up. And this is that confirmation candle for me. It's a large 5-minute bullish candle to the upside. Its body closes outside and above the opening range, right here. And we can see that just before this, it had a little bit of a bounce of the VWAP line. So how I entered this is I took my long position. I entered on the close of this 5-minute candle. I always enter on only the close. My stop loss was pulled down to the bottom of that previous little retest of the opening range for a 15 and a quarter point stop loss. Take profit was pulled up to make it a 1 risk to reward ratio, and as you guys can see, this was a pretty flawless winner. Not even any opportunity to use any risk management, because price didn't revisit the stop loss area. It went straight from entry to take profit. So a great winner there on Thursday. Moving on now to Friday. So Friday started off. I take my box tool. I'm going to highlight the first, second, and third 5-minute candles here to create our opening range. The first time that price breaks out of the opening range was here. Funny enough, there wasn't any volatile news that happened during this, but price had a pretty crazy reaction. A bearish candle that shot down about 50 points. And then before the candle was able to close, there was definitely some bullish pressure that pushed the candle body back up to give us a really, really large wick. Now, when I see price come out of the opening range and travel 30 or more points away from it, which we definitely seen here, traveled about 38 points away from it, and then make a return, well, I'm usually looking for a reversal. So just to put that into, just to give you guys a little bit of clarity on that, instead of looking for a continuation short to the downside, if price falls 30 or more points away, I'll expect a reversal to the upside in this case. And I'm going to show you guys what that reversal looks like. So after we get price traveling that far away, I'm immediately starting to look for a reversal. So the first thing I need is a sign of reversal. This is our sign of reversal right here. These 3 bullish candles to the upside. Then I need a pullback. These 3 bearish candles, sorry about that. These 3 bearish candles are the pullback. Then I need a confirmation candle. This is my confirmation candle. So this is price breaking out. This is the sign of reversal. This is the pullback. And this is the confirmation candle. So that's how I enter a reversal trade, and this was a reversal for me. It could be very easy to confuse this as still waiting for a possible continuation short to the downside, but we have to remember that even though this is one candle that traveled far away from the opening range, it's still price falling 30 or more points, so when that happens, I look for a reversal. Simple as that. So what I did is I waited for this sign of reversal, I waited for my valid pullback, and then this candle here was a beautiful, picturesque confirmation candle. Large candle to the upside. Its body closed within the opening range. Fairly small wick on the bottom, no wick on top, which is a pretty encouraging sign that price has a lot of energy to move up. So I took my long tool, I entered on the close of that 5-minute candle as always, took my stop loss, pulled it down to the bottom of the pullback for an 11.75 point stop loss. Take profit pulled up to make it a 1 risk to reward ratio. And this was also a winning trade. Also, no reason for any risk management, went straight from entry to take profit, and for the remainder of the day, price pretty calmly continued its way on up, and yeah, this was a pretty great opportunity for a trade. So this is what my 2 days last week on Thursday and Friday looked like for winners. And with that being said, guys, this is going to be the end of this video. That's all I've got for you, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow on Monday. Thanks for watching.